Welcome to Word Wednesdays. So, what are the topics that are up for discussion? It may be love, health, or career. We could discuss the struggle, your worth, or your fears. Word speaks about it all, and all are welcome to pull up a chair. I could care less about your age, race, gender, status, or geographical location. I am here to address these topics every other Wednesday. That's the word, and that's me. I know you all been waiting patiently to sit here with me and sip a cup of tea. The overall message is unity, world peace, and most importantly, LOVE. Welcome back to Word Wednesdays. You are here with me, Nina St. Cyr. I am the founder of Written Smith 101. If you would like to learn more about me and the services that I offer to the general public, please visit the website at www.writtensmith101. Now, today, the topic that's up for discussion is the difference between strength and power. We will discuss what power is, what strength is, and the difference between the two. Now let's start with power. What is power? Power is a form of strength created by mankind. Because it is created by mankind, the definition varies from one individual to another. It is typically displayed externally. What is strength? Strength is a form of power naturally given to mankind through spiritual forces. It is typically internal, commonly hidden, usually unknown, and typically forced to be displayed externally through life-changing experiences. Now we're going to discuss the difference between the two. Power, which I mentioned earlier, is motivated by mankind. And because it is motivated by mankind, it is typically tangible, something that you can hold. Now we have positive and negative attributes for both power and strength, and we will discuss this shortly. Now let's talk about the positive attributes. As I mentioned, it's tangible. So when we're looking at power, we're focusing on things such as status, wealth, education, and things of that nature. The positive side of power is when someone uses their status, wealth, and education to help someone who is in a less fortunate position. For example, if I am a wealthy person and I see someone who is homeless, I will use the wealth that I have or a portion of that wealth to help a person who is in a not so good situation. If I am an educated person and I happen to come across a person who lacks knowledge, I will use my resource of education to help someone who lacks education. Now let's look at the negative attributes of power. It's typically the same. However, you're using your resources to degrade, belittle, and offend others. So basically, you're using your resources to flaunt it in someone else's face. You're spending frivolously because you have the means to do so. Whereas when you look at a person who is less fortunate, they don't have the means to do so. So they're holding on to every penny that they have. Now let's take a look at strength. Strength is spiritually given. This can be tangible or intangible, or both. These are usually associated with characteristic traits. And there's like a handful, but I'm only going to name a few. To be loving is a strength. Because believe it or not so many people possess the quality of love. Many people don't even know what love is. So that is a strength. And that is one of the most prominent strengths that can be given through a higher being. And this is why many people know what love is and some people do not, because they are not connected to the Creator. Therefore, they lack the substance that's needed in order to achieve experiencing love through the means of giving or through the means of accepting. Kindness is also a strength. Generosity, patience, to be a good listener, a good friend. These are qualities that are spiritually based and given at the time of birth, and you grow into these traits and they become stronger. Education is also a strength. Although we are not born with education, as we acquire education, it tends to make us stronger, both mentally, physically, emotionally, on multiple levels. Money, also a strength. Not a birthright, but a strength. And the same applies for money. Once it is acquired, it builds strength. It also establishes character. A person can either use their strengths, such as money, as a means to help others or to belittle others. The same applies with power. Status, also something that is acquired but is not given at birth. Now, the positive use of these characteristics is to use these traits in a way that is helpful or beneficial to others through the means of selflessness, not selfishness, but selflessness. So if you're going to love someone, you're going to love them wholeheartedly. If you're going to be kind to someone, you're going to be kind without the expectation of receiving something back for your kindness. The negative attributes of strength is being hateful, unkind, and as I said earlier, using your resources as a means to put yourself in a superior position and to view others as being inferior. Now, strength and power is just so closely related, many people tend to think that it's the same thing. However, it's not. Especially depending on how it's used. Because people can use their strengths as a means to overpower someone else. What do I mean by that? Manipulation is also a negative strength. However, it can be used to overpower another who is not fully educated, whether it be emotionally educated or mentally educated. So you can use it as a weapon because you have the strength to use it as a resource. Therefore, you must use both your power and your strength with discernment. I'm going to wrap it up. I will see you all in 2 weeks Until then, be blessed.